what would you like us to know about COVID-19?
Yes, this has been created. It was created by a human thought form, yes, but it has also been created by the higher divine beings as well. It has been a co-creation of light and dark. There are many different aspects to the layers of creation that have been presented and have been formalized in this agreement and contract that has been understood by many within the different galactic forms here in this universe. COVID-19 is an ascension tool. It has been created to shift the perspective of an entire race, human race, in a very short space of time. When time is stood still and reorganized as it has been on Earth now, as a daily routine has been taken away, the perspective has to naturally shift very quickly, as time is what holds and what pampers a perspective. Time has been taken away as you know it. And this means that your perspective has changed as you know it, as a race, as a whole planet. Therefore, the collective is now in a state of limbo. It is in a state of uncertainty. And this is where we can come in, the Galactic Federation of Light. We are light beings, and we are here to adjust and completely rewire the DNA structures of the human race as a collective. We have been working individually on you thus far, and now we have decided to work on you collectively as one, all at the same time. This is why you have all gone into a dark night of the soul collectively together now that has been forcibly inflicted on you with the presence of the dark and light beings that have been working together. Yes, you heard that right. This does not mean that we agree with what the dark beings are doing, but it does mean that we can use this as a tool to bring in the light. The light now is coming into the new aspects of the human race, which have been activated in enough people in order to hold the light for all of the others. This is in regards to the DNA structures, yes, but there are new different aspects within the body that are far beyond DNA, far beyond that which can currently be comprehended by most here on Earth, but will naturally be comprehended only in the next 5 years. You have to be aware that the information that's going to come through on Earth now through many different channels is going to be new. It's going to be very different, and you are going to have to open your mind up even more. If you feel you are a being who is open-minded, you are wrong. This is going to be a time where you will be forced to challenge your own understanding of what you believe is true or not true, or what you believe you can contain within your comprehension without falling off the edge. It is okay if one does fall off the edge, as that happens a lot within the dark night of the soul process, which is why we are all here to support you, and you are all here to support yourself. This is a dark night of the soul situation, which does mean there is shadow releasing as the light comes in, which is why we are working with the dark and the light together. This has happened forever and will continually happen. The only difference is the Earth is now shifting into the light, rather than being dominantly predicted and associated with the dark. But the dark will always be there, and the light will always live on. So please adjust your comprehension in thinking that this is a war between light and dark. It is not. It is just the evolution of a dark being becoming one with the light, as you are all doing now. This is not something that needs to be fought. This is not something that needs to be considered a fight or a war or anything in regards to being light warriors. All that needs to happen now is for you to dig into the aspects of yourself that will not understand, and tell yourself that that is okay for now, for all will be clear once we have done the work, We are coming and swimming through you now, all at the same time. This has never been done before here on Earth, and we understand that this is going to be a process of great change and therefore great fear. But the fear is here because the change is going to happen without your choice.
How can we best utilize and benefit from the effects of this global virus?
Yes, the effects of this global virus are going to be the changes in perception. This is the effect. There will be a few deaths, yes, but less than there would have been without this virus coming through. This has been the best outcome that we could have predicted and or created. In regards to the perspective, this outcome will help you connect back into what it is that you are meant to be doing. There is only one mission for an individual here on Earth, which is connect back to your path, your highest spiraling aspect. Once you are continuously spiraling towards the highest aspect of yourself, you will naturally all be flowing together in a unison, connecting you back into the knowledge of Gaia. Once you connect and spiral towards the knowledge of Gaia, you will always be connecting back and back and back and back and back and back, rather than forward and forward and forward and forward and forward. You are coming back now, back into the knowledge of Gaia, and the knowledge of Gaia is where there is information that even we are not aware of. This is why you are here on Earth. You are here to unlock the codes of Gaia. The light codes that are coming through are that which are familiar to you. It is Gaia that is not familiar. It is these keys that are the ones that are going to unlock the new insight for this world and for the universe at large. This is an exciting time for all of us, as we will all be ascending into a new frame of perception through the Ascension of Earth.
Will everyone be able to spiral into this consciousness? I see the Lightworkers being able to do so, but what about those who are very stuck in their systems? Will everyone's consciousness be able to reach this point?
This is going to happen, yes. This is one of the reasons that there is a global shift happening. Many here on Earth will start to understand that which you know already. This is going to be the shift in which you have all been waiting for, and the spiralization of the backwards turn back into the consciousness of all that is starting now. But in order to start spiraling back, one has to stop spiraling altogether to start moving in the direction of their own course. And this is what is happening now. The spiralization of coming out of oneself is now coming to a stop, a global stop. And then once one is coming out into the world again, after this process of a global dark night of the soul, we will all start spiraling back into ourselves, maybe not through choice, but through force. And the ones who will be forced will have the darkest of dark nights of the soul, but it is going to happen. And there will be people that cannot handle this, but it is their choice and free will of how. But it is happening to all here on Earth, yes.
What is being asked right now of Lightworkers, both individually and collectively?
Lightworkers now actually have a day off, or a few days off. This is time for you to rest and for you to utilize your own adjustments internally. All that can be done is to surrender into the new light of consciousness that is starting to activate within you. Any actions in regards to helping others can be done through your own cocoons, through the sacred technology of the internet. But know that this is a time of pause. Any new teaching will not help right now. Time for compassion and a time for helping others see that this is a time just to rest and to be in their own space and in their own breath and in their own presence, as triggering as that will be for all. It is this opportunity to connect back into the present moment and into a state of healing and surrender and shadow all at the same time. New insight and information, new business ideas is not going to be in alignment with this process. This is a process of pausing for reflection, for processing, and for realigning. It is not a time to be initiating yourself into anything that you could think will be helpful for yourself or others, as what is currently happening and will happen in the future is not currently within the comprehension field of most here on Earth. Not all, but most, even the light workers. As light workers are in a different field, a different collective unit, your collective unit is also ascending and shifting. So what you know now will be normal knowledge for those who are not light workers, and therefore you will not be unified. You will be put up again into a new state of understanding and comprehension, which means you will still all be the weird ones, but you will now be the weird ones within a world in which you have been waiting for.
Is there anything that light workers should be doing right now in terms of protection or healing? I know many of us are feeling a lot of the collective, different energies coming through. What can we do to protect and heal?
Yes, working with beings of light like ourselves, the Galactic Federation of Light and the angelics. These are the beings that are coming through more potently and who are working with you daily. The galactic beings, any galactic beings that you feel specifically connected to, or are ones who you should bring in and connect with. Asking for a galactic protection will also help you benefit from the integration process and the light that is coming through. But like we have already said, this is a time for rest. This is a time for you to rest your mind and to rest your psychic abilities also, as the new is coming in. And the more you try to protect and the more you try to manipulate the darkness into light, the slower, as to speak, the process will be.
Thank you. What do you want us to know about the fabric of time and timelines?
Yes. Time and timelines are a way in which comprehending multidimensional realities has currently been understood. Timelines and parallel realities, and this type of understanding is going to start to be old. It is going to start to unravel and be uninteresting to many of the light worker communities. This may be taken on by the masses in the future, but it is not helpful information anymore. Information that comes through in regards to time or anything of that matter is only so you can compute and file information in the mind, so you can live a daily human life whilst understanding some great universal truths. But as we said, the perspective of the collective is now changing, and the perspective of the Lightworker collective is also changing, and therefore the perspective of time itself is changing. It will not seem interesting, we feel, in the near future. It will just seem what is.
What will be interesting about these concepts or our ability to file information to light workers? If we release timelines, what will be the normal, the conceptualization of what is?
Yes. This will come through more now with art and dance and music. Spirit science has been popular over the last 10 to 20 years. It has been the unification of science, of quantum physics and spirituality and time and mathematics all coming together. But now the arts is coming forth more clearly, and the feminine energy is being reactivated very quickly within this consciousness shift. And therefore the arts and spirituality is going to be the dominant importance and interest within the Lightworker collectives especially.
What do you want us to know about how we can support Gaia during this time of isolation?
Yes. This is supporting Gaia. Being in isolation and being in your own hearts in this time, if you can, will help this activation process happen in a way that can't happen without the free will of the human race. This world will ascend either way, but how and in which way is in regards to the free will of the human race. If you would like to have any contribution through this time of rest, all that needs to be done is coming into the heart in present meditation. Mindfulness, yes. Heartfulness, completely. You are the heart of Gaia. You are Gaia. You are not beings on Gaia. You are Gaia herself. This understanding is very important now. You are Gaia. You are not Gaia's children. You are Gaia. Connecting back to this truth, feeling the soul of Gaia within you, feeling the information and the insight that is currently being unlocked within you, will ascend this world into a different reality than we can do without the free will of the human race.
Thank you. I have a clarification question around free will has come up a few times in this message from you, and I'm having a hard time understanding what the place of our free will is right now and how it's shifting. So can you elaborate on free will?
Yes. Here on Earth now, to have free will is to have the ability to change and to adapt the energy that is already coming through, the path that is already happening. This is a time of pause. Free will has not been paused, but the process of the path has been paused. The free will that you only have right now is to connect back to that which is true for you, and the only way we suggest doing this is through heartfulness, mindfulness, and surrendering to what is happening in society now. It will feel like imprisonment for some of you, and this is part of your purging process. This is part of your dark night of the soul, as this is a clear reflection of the human collective trauma. You are prisoners here on Earth, and you will be feeling consciously for the first time globally on Earth like prisoners. This is a good thing. The truth is now conscious. For the first time in history, in this time of imprisonment of human race and human consciousness, this has been a rewired conscious experiment that is now finalized. Having people know they are prisoners is what will awaken all. This is now done. And this is now being understood by those who have not yet been able to connect to themselves as deeply ever before, which is why there is going to be a purging process, and which is why we are using the term dark night of the soul, as it is understood by all watching this what that means. It is a time of understanding that there is darkness within yourselves and others, and that you do have the choice to heal and to be with that if you choose to or not. This is where free will does come in. Free will to connect back to the heart, connect back to Gaia, to connect back to surrender, to connect back to being a prisoner and being free within your own soul, within your own exploration of thought and trust and art. This is where the arts will be activated also. This is a time of great change, and free will is also going to change in the future. But now it is time to release that which you think free will is right now, as it is coming from a place of force rather than surrender and flow. But know that you are going to ascend. This is now happening. It is happening now. And this is just the beginning of a whole process of ascension symptoms and reawakening programs that will be unfolding over the next 12 years.
There are talks around mandatory vaccines or potential microchips in our arms, different mechanisms of what feels like that taking away the free will. And I hear you that the free will is internal, and it's about our moment, our thought forms in every moment. But what do you want us to know, and what should we do as light workers in the face of a vaccination or a chip or a greater form of what is perceived as control by the dark?
Yes. There are different probable futures, yes, and this is one of them. This is a dominant probable future now, but there are many different shifts happening every second here on Earth, and we can see the difference in the potential future starting to align and realign. The vaccinations will start to hinder some of the insight that will come through. This can be a bad and good thing at the same time. In regards to it being good, as you know the bad already, it can help the information come through slower and therefore cause less distress. But for those who are already of light worker understanding, we would suggest staying away from vaccines if possible, as you will be able to hold this information without it being too overwhelming. But for some, it will be for their highest interest, and therefore do not feel too heartbroken by some people who are aligned with this type of procedure of awakening. But for the most light workers, or for any sensitives or anyone who you feel can hold the new light and hold the new codes and information coming through, we would suggest putting yourself in situations where this is not needed. You have many guides and light workers, spirits working with you, who will easily let you through the back door, as to speak, when you do need to travel, or if you do need to be in a space where maybe if a law is put into place to have a chip or a vaccine, there has always been ways within the light worker communities getting out of the system if needed, and you are completely protected, and you will be completely guided in how to fly around these restrictions. But know that some of you will need to connect to this process, as you will need to help others who have also been vaccinated. Many people who are within the lightworker communities have been vaccinated, and they are still very deep healers and workers here on Earth. It is important to shine light. Yes, everyone has a mission. Yes, if it is your mission to be an anti-vaccinator, please do whatever your intuition is telling you, as this is part of your work and this is part of your path. But if it is not, we would suggest you connecting to your own truth and seeing what works for you, and also seeing if your guides are protecting you from this or not. If you do find yourself having to connect to a new chemical within your body, whether it be vaccination or an oral or even an energetic vibration that has been inflicted by maybe some other beings here on Earth, please send it light and connect with it, as it is a spirit and it can easily work with you, as we are working with some dark beings now. In regards to the COVID practice, you can also work with this energy to benefit you and to benefit the evolution. There would be no evolution if there were no challenges, and this is a challenge.
How can I shine light onto some of those other timelines? How can I support the birth of those other timelines where vaccinations are not inflicted on the masses and our collective can rise to the shifts and comprehend them?
Yes. These probable futures are all in alignment with the feminine energy that is being activated. This is why the sister circles and the womb groups and the consciousness of the feminine is rising. If this was the dominant energy here on Gaia, these probable futures would not be in alignment with the collective. Therefore, connecting to the earth, connecting to spirit in regards to the goddesses, connecting to art, music, dance, connecting to the other collective circles of sisters. We need now for this to become bigger, and we need now, in order for the males within the conscious communities to also connect more deeper to their goddess wisdom, and also holding space for the goddess. Also, some males here on earth are here to connect back to their goddess entities within, which is why there is gender fluid interpretations of this right now on earth. Others who are dominantly within the vibration of masculinity, you are here to hold space and to protect this goddess energy rising, not to ignore it, but to embrace it and use it to activate the new female woman, not just feminine. It is woman energy that is now becoming the dominant vibration of earth, in order for it to send without the challenges of vaccination or of the chip potential futures that are coming into earth. Yes, this is already a reality in regards to the technology. The biotechnology has already been invented. It is now being marketed in different ways, and yes, things like COVID and other things that will happen in the future will naturally be very beneficial to the marketing agencies who do wish to bring biotechnology into humans, whether they feel this is true for them or not, as they will be in a state of fear. But like we said, without challenges there is no evolution. Do not spiritually bypass, but also see the bigger picture whilst connecting back to your truth and working within your own path, your own truth, to see what is right. Being multidimensional means knowing all different truths and all different gratitudes for the dark and the light, whilst being in your own life, in your own perspective, and in your own personality, living out the role that you choose to connect all that is to the one. This can be done, and it is not understood quite yet, which is what you call spiritual bypassing. Once you do become multi-dimensional, rather than just shifting to the higher dimensions, you will connect back to your dimension whilst connecting to the highest, and be able to live out your truth whilst knowing the bigger picture, which is what being multi-dimensional is.
Thank you. My final question in regards to the collective is, are there any other gifts of this experience that you would like us to know? As I know many are in fear right now.
Yes. The gifts are starting to be fertilized as we speak. This is going to bring a wave of new children. The gift of new light is coming in now. As we said, it is coming into the DNA structures of many here, or all here on Earth. But this new light is coming forth through the birth of physical children also. There is going to be a wave of newborn babies happening within a year from now. Of course, as people are together in isolation, this is going to be predicted, but this is for a reason, and this is going to be the gift. These children will be wise beyond measure. They will be one step further than the indigo and the rainbow and the crystal children. They will be new light. They will be, I'm just tuning into what these kids are going to be like. They're going to be quite serious, I think, unlike the crystals. A little bit more serious, but a very, very, very light. A bit more like a like a alien Jedi type of feel. No small talk, but true love coming through. bring back the guides a bit further. Yes, we are still here as well. This will be the gift. This is the gift of the new earth, the new child, the new Christ that is coming here. And this will be the start of a new flow of entity that is now a vibrational match to be unified with the mortal matter of Earth.
Thank you.
Yes. We are here. We are connected always to you. We are you as you are Gaia. Everything is one and everything is in alignment, and all is happening for a reason. Just connect to yourself. Use this opportunity to rest and be in your own bodies, as your own bodies will not be what they are now. They are regenerating and they are changing physically right now, which is why we all need to rest and we all need to take the advantage of the self-isolation for your own highest good and for your own health. Please do not fight this. Yes, there is darkness also co-creating this situation, but the birth of the new light is only happening because of this. So please be in your hearts and be in a state of rest. Nothing needs to be done now. You have done your work for now, and your new assignment will be understood by you very quickly in the near future. Thank you on behalf of the Galactic Federation and all of the other entities here and within the realm of Victoria's field of consciousness and intuition that has all been working together to bring you this information today. Thank you and goodbye.